Hello. Yes, good morning, Deepa. Good morning, Vani. So, how is everyone? Yes, good morning. How is everyone? Yes, okay, fine. Yes, good morning. Good morning, Yashwant. I am good. I am good, Chatur Teja. Good morning, Ajit. Good morning, Sudiksha. Yes, I am good, Tarun. Good morning, Pranay. Good morning, Raidu. Okay, let's start our class. Okay. So if you are having any doubt regarding previous class, I have given 3 questions, I think, and two of them I remember. CuSO4.5H2O. We need to calculate the water of crystallization. So it is nothing but, if you calculate the mass of CuSO4.5H2O, then it will be approximately 250, right? And if you calculate the mass of water, it will be 180. So the answer will be 180 by 250 into 100, right? So this was our blue vitriol. Okay, in case of white vitriol, there will be ZnSO4.7H2O, right? Yeah, sorry, this will be 90. I'm sorry, that will be 90. Fine. So in this case, it will be 126 upon. If you calculate total mass, it will be it will be approximately 287, and you can calculate this also. So basically, I wanted to tell you what is water after crystallization, right? And what is anhydrous salt. If you remove the water of crystallization or the molecules of water from a salt, then it will be known as anhydrous salt, right? So is there any doubt? Then please let me know, or we can proceed further. Is there any doubt? Is there any doubt regarding these questions or any doubt regarding previous class? Then please let me know. Okay, fine. You are having no doubt. Great. So in the previous class, we have already learned about empirical formula and molecular formula, right? This is empirical formula. This is empirical formula and this is molecular formula. Empirical formula tells about the simplest ratio. It tells about simplest ratio of atoms from various elements. So basically it tells about simplest ratio. But it tells about exact number of atoms. It tells about exact number of atoms present, exact number of atoms of the elements, okay, present in given molecule or given compound. Yes. So this is the basic difference. You just remember these two keywords. And questions related to empirical and molecular formula, you can find these questions in 11th, your board class, as well as in JEE mains, as well as in NEET. Okay, so it is very important to understand this concept. Then I have told you that regarding that, if you take example of glucose, then its molecular formula is nothing but C6H12O6, and its empirical formula is nothing but CH2O. So if you see, the molecular formula is telling us, the exact number of atoms present, exact number of atoms of various elements present per molecule, while empirical formula is telling us, it's not giving the full information. It is only telling us that carbon, hydrogen, there is 1 atom of carbon, 2 atom of hydrogen, and 1 atom of oxygen. This is the ratio, 1:2:1. This is the ratio in which carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen are present. They are not telling you the exact number, they are just telling you the ratio between the different atoms coming from various elements. So if you see, we can calculate molecular formula mass. We can calculate molecular formula mass. Already we know what is molecular formula mass. Earlier we have termed it as molecular mass. So it is nothing but mass of the mass calculated using molecular formula. So if you see, the molecular formula mass will be 180 in this case. And if you calculate the mass using empirical formula, then it will be known as empirical formula mass. Empirical formula mass. And if you see, if you check, in this case, it will be nothing but it will be only 30. So this is empirical formula mass and molecular formula mass. And from now onwards, I will not be writing this full form. I will be writing only M of M and EFM, right? So using these two things, molecular formula mass and empirical formula mass, I can calculate a simple number, that is N. It can be written as empirical formula mass upon, molecular formula mass upon empirical formula mass. This is our M. It is nothing but just a number. It's a number. It will be an integer, right? If you are able to calculate this N, using this N, you can calculate molecular formula if empirical formula is given. These are two formulas which you can write. You write this, then we will be moving forward. But ask your friends to join the live class. Please do not be dependent upon recorded class. Do not overly dependent upon recorded class. Beta, you calculate it. Pranay beta, C6H12O6, 6 into 12 from carbon, 12 into 1 from hydrogen, 6 into 16 from oxygen. If you add it, then it will come as 180 beta. Okay, Pranay Kumar. So I am requesting all of you to join the live class, because recorded class will not provide you the same essence or same flavor, right? So I request all of you to join the live class. By listening the live class, you will have different experience. You will learn more, right? So if in case you miss the class by some emergency, in exceptional cases, then only you depend upon recorded class. So it's a request. Okay, so always try to finish the work on the given time, then only it will have the same flavor or the essence. Ana, there is some slok which says ki agar if you do these things on the same time, then only you will get the maximum benefit. So to earn the maximum benefit, try to listen the chemistry class on 11:15 to 12:15, right? So have you written this beta? Have you written this? Yes, fine. So I think it's a very simple thing, but all these things are required in chemistry, because every year there are thousands and lakhs of compounds are discovered every year. Okay, lakhs and thousands of compounds are prepared in the lab, or they are found from the nature. So if we have found some compound, if we have found some unknown compound, right? If we want to predict the molecular formula. This is our goal. We want to predict molecular formula by using this unknown compound. If you are having unknown compound, okay, then using some techniques, some lab techniques, we can calculate percentage of each element. First, we will calculate the different type of elements. What are the different type of elements are present? Right? And if we come to know that it is containing carbon, hydrogen, or some other elements, then using some techniques, we are able to calculate percentage of each element, right? And using the reverse technique, percentage of each element, we try to figure out the empirical formula. We try to figure out the empirical formula. Also, as we know the compound, but whose formula is not known to us, but if a known compound is known, then they will also be knowing molecular formula mass. Right? So these things are known. This will be given. This also will be given. This you have to calculate. This you have to calculate in the question. And as you know the empirical formula, you can also calculate empirical formula mass. So using empirical formula mass and molecular formula mass, you can easily calculate N. N can be discovered. This can also be calculated. If you know the N, then using this formula, you can easily calculate N into EF. Right? This is how we calculate molecular formula. So there will be many problems in which they are going to ask you the molecular formula. They will say there are some unknown compound which contains percentage of element or percentage weight of each element or weight ratio of each element. Using this, I will be telling you the method how you can calculate by using the empirical formula. And if you are able to calculate the empirical formula, then you are also be able to calculate empirical formula mass. Similar to this. If you know in the empirical formula, you can easily adding by their respective atomic mass, you can calculate empirical formula mass. And by knowing the molecular formula mass and calculating the EFM, you can easily calculate N by using this. And then multiplying this N into EF, you will get empirical formula. So I will be giving you a very simple problem. But before that, you must be well known about the N. This N is not molar mass. This is not moles. This is just a number. This is just a number. Okay. So if I write some compounds, for example, ethane, right? For example, NaOH. Okay. For example, glucose, right? For example, urea. Then calcium carbonate, or then calcium phosphate, right? Or some other elements, benzene. Okay, let's not write benzene. Boragine, there is one compound boragine. Okay, I will be writing its formula B3N3H6. Then there is diborane. These are all compounds which I am telling you because these are all compounds will be coming in the next classes. That is why I am telling you diboron, B2H6. You will see these compounds in your coming classes or in the chapters of 12th or 11th, right? So if these are given and someone is asking you the empirical formula and N. So in the first case, if you see, the empirical formula is nothing but the simplest ratio. It is nothing but simplest ratio. So if you see, the simplest ratio in case of C2H6 will be nothing but CH3. Okay. So the simplest ratio will be CH3. So in this case, we can see N will be 2. Beta, is that clear? If it is clear, then we can move forward. I want response from all of you. I am waiting and I want response from all of you. If it is clear. I want more responses. N is nothing but beta, N is a number. It's a number by which you multiply a empirical formula, you will get molecular formula. Okay. Raju, if you see in this case, the ratio between the number by which you have divided to get empirical formula, to get simplest ratio is the N. In this case, N is 2. If you multiply this by 2, we will get this. Right? Fine. Okay, beta. NaOH, in case of NaOH, the molecular formula, empirical formula will remain same because they are already present in the simplest ratio. So here the n will be 1, right? If the molecular and empirical formula are same, then n will be same, that is 1. N will be 1. Glucose, it is the empirical. Glucose has formula C6H12O6. So if you see, it can be represented in much simpler form, that is CH2O. And to derive this empirical formula from this, you need to divide by 6. That is why n in this case will be 6. If you multiply by 6, you will get this number or this formula, right? C6H12O6. Urea is nothing but NS2CONS2. Okay. If you see, it is already present in the simplest ratio, that is N2H4CO. Okay, this is the simplest. Already it is in the simplest form. You cannot divide further. So here n will be 1. This is also in the simplest form, 1. This is also in the simplest. If you want to calculate, this is also 1. In this case, you can see there is a number through which we can divide, VNH2. So that is 3. For B2H6, again we can write BH2. Boron and hydrogen are present in 1:2 ratio. You can see, sorry, BH3. So they are present in 1:2 ratio. So you have divided by 2, that is by 2. You just see it, and if you have any doubt, I will repeat it. Just check it, beta. You just check it, or I will give you some more examples. If you want me to illustrate with more examples, I will illustrate it. Right. One simple example, C2H4. If you see, again it is in the 1:2 ratio. So you write CH2 and it will be 2. Or you can write CH3COOH. So if you see, it is nothing but its simplest form will be CH2O and ratio is 2. No, beta, urea is not 2. Because if you write 2, then where carbon? Carbon is only 1, beta. Krushita, carbon is 1 and oxygen is 1. How will you divide? Urea, check it, beta. Urea, if you write it NS2CONS2, fine. A number n will be common for all the elements. Beta, a number will be, EF is empirical formula and n is the simple number by which you feel, if you multiply empirical formula, you will get molecular formula. Okay. If you multiply by n to the empirical formula, you will get the molecular formula. Right? Here it is molecular formula. So n is a number. Okay. By multiplying with, you will get molecular formula. If you see here, if you write it, write all the elements at same place. Nitrogen 2, hydrogen 4. If it would have been N2H4, I can take another example, N2H4. In case of N2H4, see, this will be NS2. This is hydrazine, beta. This is hydrazine. It is used as fuel in rocket, right? It is a rocket fuel. It provides thrust. It provides thrust to rocket. Okay. So in this case, N is 2. But in this case, urea, there are other elements, CO. C is 1, O is 1. They are already present in the simplest form. Okay. You cannot take N. Here N will be 1 only. Right. The N will be same for all. N will be same for all. It is not like it will be different for one atom and one element and other element. Right. It will be same for whole compound. Okay. A ratio, a number which you can take from this. Okay. So for carbon, as carbon is already in this lowest number. Okay, Karthik, Krushita, is it clear, beta? Beta, there might be some issue with your network. Okay, there might be some issue with your network, beta. Vani, just check your network because all the other students are not facing such problem. Okay, I will write it here, beta. NH2CO NH2CO its molecular formula will be N2H4CO. You see, you cannot take any number, common number. That is why the N will be 1. Okay, the common number should be for all the atoms or the elements. Okay, for nitrogen, for hydrogen, as well as for carbon and oxygen. That is why it is 1. Okay, is that clear, beta? It's very simple practice. Nobody is going to ask you. It's just for our simplification. Okay, it's not very important. It's just very trivial thing. It helps us to calculate the molecular formula. So I'm giving you one problem. Write it and solve it. Okay, do not worry. I will be providing these notes. So you write it as much as you can, right? And if you are not able to understand or not able to write, then go back and see the notes provided by me, right? So there is one question. Acetylene and benzene have empirical formula CH. They are having empirical formula CH and empirical formula mass as no, I do not, there is no need to calculate, and molecular formula as (26) and 78 respectively. Calculate their respective molecular formula. Try to solve this problem. You are provided with the empirical formula. This is empirical formula. Okay, that is CH. They are also given you molecular formula mass, that is 26 and 78. 26 for acetylene and 78 for benzene. And they want you to calculate respective molecular formula. But what is 3? They are asking you molecular formula. What is molecular formula, Pranay? Molecular formula represents the exact number of atoms present, exact number of atoms of the elements present per molecule. What is 3? Where are the exact number of atoms? C2H2 and okay, Manas. Yes, you have written the right formula, Krushita. Okay, fine. Fine, it is given that answer. See, if this question is asked in the JEE or the NEET, they will be giving you options. Okay, and you already know that benzene has formula. Benzene has molecular formula C6H6. Acetylene has C2H2. I have already written you in the previous classes, so you can directly tick it there. You do not need to solve this question. Okay, so if they ask you in the JEE or the JEE or NEET, so you can directly write the answer. But if they ask you in your unit test or in the school exams, then you have to show the procedure, right? So that is why it is important to learn this method, right? In the JEE, you already know what is benzene. Everybody knows what is benzene, what is acetylene. If you do not know, then wait for a few minutes. So it says that empirical formula, let us first solve for acetylene. It says for acetylene, empirical formula is CH. If the empirical formula is CH, then its empirical formula mass will be nothing but 12 plus 1, that is 13. So you know the empirical formula mass, you also know the molecular formula mass, that is 26. And also the molecular formula mass is for acetylene is 26. So you can easily calculate N. N is nothing but 26 upon 13, that is 2. This is your N. Now if you use the formula, molecular formula, just focus over here. Okay, I do not want you to commit any silly mistakes. N into EF. So if you multiply by 2, EF is CH. When you multiply like this in chemistry, this is especially for chemistry. This 2 will go into subscript. It will provide you C2H2. And these subscripts gives you the atomicity, that 2 carbon atoms and 2 hydrogen atoms are present per molecule of acetylene. Okay, beta. That is why its molecular formula is C2H2. Right? So you need to calculate molecular formula. Nobody is going to write 2CH. In this case, this 2 is telling about moles. So there is difference. It's telling about the moles or the number of molecules. In this case, it is telling about the atomicity, this subscript. So there is difference, beta. You need to understand this, because I have seen that students face problem while solving questions of the ionic equilibrium, chemical equilibrium, right? So I have explained it. If you calculate for benzene, the second one, benzene, the empirical formula is again same 13. So empirical formula mass will also be, CH. So empirical formula mass will be 13. They have already given molecular formula mass 78. So beta, what will happen? N will be 78 upon 13. That will be 6. So molecular formula will be 6 into CH. That is C6H6. You must all write it like this is benzene, beta. This is benzene. Hydrogen at each corner. So you must be aware about this compound. Very important compound. In organic chemistry, you are going to see it again and again. That is why I am telling you right now. Is it okay? Write it down, then we will move ahead. Is it clear to all of you, beta? Is it clear to all of you? I have already told you in the one class that acetylene is used in the welding process. If you see in welding process, okay, they try to burn this. It is inflammable in nature. So they, this acetylene. So they use this acetylene in the welding process. Okay, Likhita, you have written it. Great. Anyone else who is having any doubt, beta? Okay, great. Go back and solve all these problems by your own. You will have better understanding. So our main task is, I have already told you that daily, or we can say every day or every year, we discover thousands of compounds. Okay, so if we discover thousands of compounds, how to calculate their empirical formula? Okay, so calculation of empirical formula. We will be solving this type of problem if they are asking you the empirical formula. Okay, so we will be solving this type of problem by using tabular calculation. Okay, so just wait for a few seconds. I will be giving you one tabular form, and using that you have to solve. So in the questions, they will be giving you elements present in the compound, various elements. Okay, they will give you that unknown compound contains carbon, hydrogen and nitrogen, like this. Okay, so as well as they will also be giving you the percentage of element, how much percentage is present. In some cases they might also be giving you percentage of weight, that or weight ratio, right? These information can be given. Okay, now using this percentage ratio, you have to calculate relative ratio. Just a second, not the relative ratio. Number of atoms present. You can calculate it by just dividing percentage of element divided by their atomic mass, right? Then using this, you are going to calculate relative ratio. Just see, it's very simple. It's a very simple process, very trivial process. How will you calculate relative ratio? You have already calculated the number of atoms. Let's say it is A. Okay, so what will you do? Pick the, let's say there is some A, B, C. You get number 10, 20 and 30. So you pick the smallest one. So you divide the atoms, or this column divided by lowest number. So by this way you will get a relative ratio. I will explain it once again. Okay, and if you get some numbers, you get 1, 2, 3, very good. If you get 1, 2.5, 3.5, some fractional number, so you multiply this with simple relative ratio to get simple ratio by some number to relative ratio, and using this simple ratio you will get the empirical formula. Let me explain it once again. In the question, in the problem, they will be giving you the elements present in the compound. They will also be given, this will be given beta, this will be given, this will also be given, that it contains 10% of carbon, 20% of carbon. And using this, you need to calculate this. You need to calculate. That is percent element upon atomic mass. If carbon is given 10%, then what you have to do? 10 divided by 12. The atomic mass of carbon is 12. After calculating for all the elements, you will find out, you will select the lowest number, and you divide that lowest number. You divide all the numbers by that lowest number. You will get some relative ratio. If these are in the natural number, very good. If they are in fraction, multiply with some number so that you get simplest ratio. So this is some format, you write it, and then we will be doing some problem, and you will see that how easy, how simple is this. You just write it better. So you can write here element, है ना? In short you can write element, in short you can write percentage, in short you can write atoms to A, in short you can write relative ratio, in short you can write simplest ratio. This is your table, right? So write it, then we will move ahead. In 11th you will get many problems beta, okay, on this concept. लिख लिया बेटा? Fine. So I am giving you one problem. It says a hydrocarbon contains, just see how simple is this process. Very simple. I will be illustrating this with one example. A hydrocarbon contains 80% of carbon. Calculate its empirical formula if molecular formula mass is 30. Also calculate its molecular formula. Okay, if this problem is given, just see the problem and then we will solve it. A hydrocarbon, it contains 80% of carbon. It says that it contains 80% of carbon. We have found some compound in which carbon is 80%. And also you need to solve this problem and to calculate empirical formula. If the molecular formula mass is 30, then also calculate the molecular formula. Just think, then we will solve it. See, as it is given, it is hydrocarbon. Then it is very simple that it will be containing only carbon and hydrogen. Hydrocarbon means that it will be made up of only two elements, that is carbon and other is hydrogen. So the elements are carbon and hydrogen. Now they are given the percentage. This is 80. Automatically this will become 20. Now the atoms is at percentage element upon atomic mass. So 80 upon 12. And here 20 upon 12. Now listen carefully that you do not need to simplify them exactly. Just do the rough calculation. Right? For example, in this case, if you solve it by 4, it is divisible by 4. This is also divisible by 4. So it will come 20 by 3. This also will come, if you divide it by 4, then it will come 5 by 3. So you can see this is the lowest number. Oh, sorry. Here it will be 20 by 1. Sorry, right? Hydrogen, atomic mass of hydrogen is 1. So it will be 20. So if you see, this is the lowest number. Out of these two, it is the lowest number. So what we have done in the next case, you have to divide by lowest number. Okay. So you divide this by lowest number, that is 20 by 3 divided by 20 by 3. That will be 1. So this is our relative ratio. And this also will be divided by 20 by 3. So it will become only 3. Now you do not need to, they are already in this natural number. So it will be 1:3. So your empirical formula will be CS3. Very simple. And now the empirical formula mass will be 15. They have given you molecular formula mass, that is 30. So using these two, you can calculate N will be 2. And using N, now you can calculate molecular formula. Molecular formula will become 2 into CS3, that is C2H6. So this is the final answer. Just check it. I will be giving you some other problems. Just see. Do you understand or not? I will be explaining it again. So anyone who has not understood this, I will be giving you another simple problem. Okay, very simple. You will understood it very easily. Yeah, understand. I want response from all of you, beta. Relative ratio, beta. Relative ratio is nothing but you calculate this number of atoms. You calculate the number of atoms by dividing the percentage by atomic mass. If you calculated the number of atoms, now there will be some numbers that 1, 3, 5. If number are 1, 3, 5, then 1 will become your lowest number. So you just divide all of them by the simplest one, or the lowest one, that is 1. Okay, so if you have calculated number of atoms, out of all the number of atoms, you pick the smallest one. That in this case, the smallest one was 20/3, and you need to divide this 20/3 to all the number of atoms. Then you will get relative ratio. I will be giving you one more problem. If it is given, you can write a question. It is just for example. You can write example number 2. It is given that compound contains calcium, carbon, and oxygen. Okay, and it says it contains 40%, 12%, and 48. Okay, this is given that a compound contains calcium, carbon, and oxygen in the ratio of 40, 12, and 48, or in the percentage composition of 40, 12, and 48. Now, what will you do to calculate number of atoms? You must divide it by atomic mass. So in case of calcium, atomic mass is 40, so it will come as 1. In carbon also, it is 1. In oxygen, it is 48/16, so it is 3. So the lowest number is 1. Now to calculate the relative ratio, you need to divide by 1. You need to divide by 1. So 1 by 1, that is 1. 1 by 1, that is 1. 3 by 1, that is 1. Sorry, 3 by 1, that is 3. So the simplest ratio is already 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 3. So you will get a formula: calcium 1, carbon 1, oxygen 3. That is calcium CO3. This is our empirical formula for the unknown compound. Is it clear, beta? I want response from your side, beta. Is it clear? Fine. So write a question. Write a question which says a compound made up of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen contains 52.2% carbon, 12% hydrogen. Now calculate empirical formula. I am giving you 2 minutes. Try to solve it roughly. Okay, you do not have to calculate exact number. Beta, this is you have to use Pallavi, beta, you have to use common sense. If you find like this 2, 3.5, and 4. So to find the simplest ratio, you need to multiply by 2. So it will become 4, 7, and 8. Generally it will be 2. Generally it will be 2. Or in some cases it will be, it should be like this, that this fraction get converted into a number, and the lowest number you could have multiplied by 4 also, but by multiplying by 2 you will get a number. So you have to choose the number which is the lowest, so that you can get some simplest number, right? Generally it will be 2. Generally it will be 2. Just wait for 10 minutes. You will get all these questions. These are very easy questions. I will be telling you some techniques also, right? How to solve them in some simple or the minimum time. 1 minute is there. So it is given that carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. So if you see, it is given 52.2, it is 12, 54, 64, 36, so 35.8. Oh, sorry, 13. It will be 34 by 8. Yes, no, 34 by 8, beta. Now what will you do? Just divide by atomic mass. Now just see here, 12. If you see, it will come as 4 point something 35. If you divide by 4 4 ja, 12 4 ja 48, then there will be 4. 12 3 ja 36. So it is approximately this. In this case, 13 by 1. You see, it is 13. If you see these two, these are having multiplication of 3. If you see, these both of them is having, no, hydrogen is 13 beta. You write it 13. I have written is wrong. It is 13 beta. If in the question I have written 12, recorrect it, it is 13. If you solve it here, 34.8. Y divided by 16. See the third number should be similar to these two. It should be multiple of these. This is just trick. This is common sense. That it should be multiple of these two. Okay. Otherwise, the question will be very complicated. Okay. So it should be multiple of these two. So if you see, this is 16 into 2 ja. So 2. If it is 2, then it should be half of this. Okay. It's just a trick or just a common sense. They will not give you a number which is very different. The number will be either half or either double or 4 times or either 1 by 4 times. Like this, the number will be either 1 by 6 times. This is how numbers will be. You will get the number. So if you are getting 4.35 and here you can see it is 16 2 ja 32. So it must be half of this. Otherwise the problem will become very difficult or it will be very calculative. So you do not need to do the exact problem. It should be as it is 2, then it should be half of this because 4 ka half is 2. So it will be 2.17. So here you have to use your common sense. Otherwise, yes, I understand it will come 2.125. But you need to solve your problem, exact problem, you just assume it is half of this. Okay. So this is, I am telling you the common sense. If you get two numbers, then it will be either double of this, either triple of this, 4 times of this, half of this, 1/4 of this. Then only your problem will get some simple number, because now you can see it is the lowest number. It is the lowest number. So divide all the number by 2.17. Here you will get 4.35 divided by 2.17. So that is 2. 13 divided by 2.17. So 6. It will be 6. And here you will get 2.17 by 2.17. That is 1. Otherwise, you will get some very different, difficult numbers. So you have already got 2, 6, and 1. So your formula will be C2H6O. This is your answer. Write it down, then I will be giving you some other question and solve them. Is that clear, beta? You need to use common sense over here. This is the most calculative part. This is the most calculative part. Here you have to use your numerical aptitude. You have to use your numerical aptitude. Okay. You need to make the problem easier. You understood that in the next case, you are going to take the ratio. And these ratios should be in the simplest number. So why not to simplify over here only? Okay. So the next number, the third number or the second number should be multiple of the one number. All numbers should be multiple of each other. They should be multiple of each other. They should be in the ratio of 1:2 or 1:3, 1:4. Okay, then only our problem will be solved. Otherwise, it will become very difficult. I will giving you another question. So have you written this, beta? Have you written this? This question, this type of question takes so much of time because student try to solve them exactly, but in the paper you will not allowed to have calculator, neither in the 12th nor in your JEE or NEET exam. So here you have to, the JEE or the NEET, they expect you to solve them approximately. And if you want to approximate, then you will be approximating according to your need, according to your simplification. And we want them to be multiple of each other. Okay. So considering that, let's do another problem. You just write it down. There is a compound. Okay. If you have written this, there is a compound. Question. Compound contains potassium, chromium, oxygen. Okay. A compound is made up of potassium, chromium, oxygen and contains 26.6% of potassium and 38% of chromium. Calculate the empirical formula. आपको अगर नहीं पता, if you do not know, its atomic mass is 39 and for chromium it is 52. It is for chromium it is 52, right? So using this, solve this and try to solve it by using your numerical aptitude. Use your brain so that numerical becomes easy. Krushita, I have already told you that the summation of percentage should be 100. So the percentage of oxygen can be calculated by subtracting the percentage of potassium and chromium. Percentage must be 100, beta. So third element will be having percentage so that the total becomes 100, right? So it is given that it is having potassium, chromium and oxygen. So in the question it is given 26.6 and just a minute. It is 36% of potassium and 36% of oxygen, beta. So oxygen is 38%. It is 38%. So you can easily calculate by solving 64 to 35.4. Okay. Beta, just recorrect it. Okay. Now solve it. Now try to solve it. It is 26.6 upon 39. And in this case, it is 35.4 upon 52. and in this case 38 upon 16. So if you want to solve this calculation, okay, you see the numerator is divisible by 13. This is also divisible by 13. So you can simply write it 2 by 3. 13 into 2 is 26 and 13 into 3 is 39. Okay. In this case, yes, it is 52 beta. For chromium, it is 52. For this case, four. Okay. So you can see it is divisible by 17. This is also divisible by 17. Both of them are divisible by 17. So it is 17 into 2. This is 17 into 3. So if you see, it will also come as 2.3, or you can write it 0.68. 0.68, right? So it should be multiple of 0.68. The third one should be multiple of 0.68. So if you calculate it, it will come as 16 into 2, 32. Then approximately 2.3. Okay. So the lowest number in this case is 0.68. Now take the ratio. So it will come as 0.68 divided by 0.68. That is 1. In this case also 0.68 upon 0.68. That is 1. And in this case 2.3 upon 0.68. Right? So it will be approximately 3.5. If you want to calculate, it will come as 3.5. The last number will come as 3.5. So as you see, these are not natural numbers. The last one is not natural number. So multiply by 2. Okay. So you will get 2, 2 and 7. So our formula will become, empirical formula will become K2Cr2O7. Right? But as you move in chemistry, you will understand that potassium, chromium and oxygen, there are only two compounds which we are going to see. These two compounds are K2Cr2O7 and the other one is K2CrO4. Okay, if you study P block, D block, in those chapters, you are going to encounter these two compounds. One is K2Cr2O7 and the other is K2CrO4. So either of two should be our answer. Okay. So slowly and gradually you will understand that in some problems, by using your common sense or chemistry aptitude, you can tick the answer without solving the question. So is it okay, beta? I will give you one homework problem. Is that okay, beta? Or shall I repeat it again? Is that okay? Or shall I repeat it again? Fine, fine. Great, great, great. So this is how we have to do the problems. So there is question that a compound is made up of आ गया Beta, it is given the compound is made up of 9:1:3.5 ratio. Calculate empirical formula, right? So this is homework for you. Just a hint that in this case percentage, you can simply write the ratio. You can simply write the ratio. This is 9, this is 1 and 3.5, and the remaining process will remain the same, right? So in the next class we will discuss the solution of this question. Okay, and if you want to send the solution, you can easily send it to me on Telegram, right? So is that okay, beta? Is that okay? Is there any doubt? Or shall we finish the class, beta? Yes, okay, fine. So just go back and solve all these problems by your own. Okay, solve all these problems by your own. Okay, and also try to solve this question, and you can send the solution on Telegram. Okay, beta, fine. We will meet on Monday. Okay, beta, there is one announcement. There is one important announcement that Venkanna sir wants to interact with you guys. Venkanna sir wants to interact with you guys, and he will be live and interacting with you shortly. Okay, so just stay tuned and have blessings of Venkanna sir, right? So just wait for some minutes and you will have Venkanna sir, and try to listen him and get motivated. Fine beta. Mic on है ना? हाँ, okay beta, great.